Hello and welcome back to Bookish and welcome back to Tag Tuesday, which I may post on Monday. Holidays are kind of affecting my BookTube posting schedule, but we'll see. I might just stick with Tuesday. Anyway, the tag I wanted to do today is the tag that I've been seeing going around on BookTube a lot, and that's the Meet the BookTuber Tag. This one should go fairly quickly, I think, but we'll see. So prompt number one is please give your name, age, and location. My name is Brian Bruce. I am 52 years old. I think I'm 52. Hang on, I have a story about that. I'm 52 years old, and I live in a suburb of Houston that's located between Houston, Texas, and Galveston, Texas, on the Gulf Coast. So the reason why I get confused about my age is that when I was 49, I decided that I would just go ahead and tell everybody I was 50, even though I was only 49. I would just add a year to my age, and that by doing so, I hope that whatever kind of trauma or anxiety that would be caused by turning 50 would be dissipated, because in my mind I would know I wasn't 50, but since I'd already told everybody I was 50, that I would have gotten used to the idea. And I got so used to the idea that I was actually 50 and not 49 that I still have a hard time remembering how old I actually am, which is probably a sign of aging. Anyway, so that's the answer to that question. Prompt number two is, do you have any siblings, and where do you come in the order of kids? I have one sister who's older than me. I am the quintessential little brother. I tormented my sister, I'm sure, when we were growing up. She's about 2 years older than I am. As a little brother, I was the baby of the family. I was the one who you hear all the stories about, how the older sibling has to do all the stuff and the younger sibling gets away with everything. This is true. I just give you one story about how privileged my position as being a younger brother was. When my sister went to college, when she came home, my parents enforced the same curfew, because this was back in the day when parents had curfews. I don't know if they do or not. My parents enforced the same curfew against my sister when she was in college, which was midnight, that they had when she was living at home in high school. At that time, my curfew was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was still a junior in high school. So I'm that little brother, obnoxious and needy and lazy and feigning incompetence so that we don't have to do lots of things. I'm that obnoxious little brother. Problem number three is, what do you do for work or university? I'm a teacher. I'm an American history teacher at a public high school here in Texas. This is my 31st year of teaching and my last. I'm retiring at the end of this school year and will begin a new adventure. I got my bachelor's degree from Stephen F. Austin State University, and I have a master's degree in American history from the University of Houston at Clear Lake. Prompt 4, do you have kids? Yes, I have 2 kids. My son will be turning 23 this year. My daughter is 21, will be 22 in January. They're both still in college and both going to graduate relatively soon. My son wants to be a teacher and a coach at the high school or secondary level, and my daughter wants to go into some kind of psychology or counseling or therapy, and that's what her degree is in, and she should graduate in May. Prompt 5 is, do you have any pets? I have 2. Sometimes they show up in my videos. Of course, they're not going to show up in this video because I've talked about having pets, but I have 2 dogs. Ike, who's about 12 or 13 years old, and who is essentially what we would call, or he is a mutt. And we acquired Ike after Hurricane Ike, and that's what he's named for, hit Galveston in the area where we live. Apparently he became a stray during the storm, was taken in by one family, transferred to another, and it's from that kind of second family that we got him. I would say he has some PTS, I would say he has some post-traumatic stress syndrome issues. He's a little excitable and a little strange, but we love him nonetheless. And then this year we got Zelda, who is a Great Dane who we got from a Great Dane Rescue Society. Zelda had been found wandering around in a rural community north of Houston. She was taken to an animal shelter, and from that shelter she was rescued by this Great Dane Society and taken in by a foster family, and it's from that foster family that we adopted her. I think she is a little over a year old, and I understand that Great Danes stay puppies until they're about 3, which seems about right, because she still acts like a puppy because she digs holes in my backyard. Problem number 6 is, can you drive? Yes. I shoot videos with me driving to work in my truck, so I can drive. Been driving since about the age of 15. Here in the United States, you used to be able to get, or in Texas anyway, you used to be able to get a hardship license. If you were a kid and you had to drive yourself to school or to work and you were under the age of 16, you could apply for a hardship license. And I got one of those, even though the only hardship was my mother was tired of me making her late for work. Because she was a high school teacher where I went to school, and so she helped me get a hardship license so that I no longer made her late. Problem number 7, what's your favorite subject in school? My favorite subject in school was history, probably followed by government or civics, and then English. English is what my mother taught, and so I think for a while I kind of had a resistance to my love for English. But I did. Those were my favorite classes. My mom, by the way, was actually my teacher for American literature during my junior year of high school, and coincidentally, that's the year of my life in which I decided to get in the most trouble I possibly could get in. Problem number 8 is, what's your favorite color? I'm just going to say orange. I think orange is my favorite color, but it varies. I hardly ever wear orange because, well, it's orange. But I do like the color. I like the color of this room, which is martini olive green, and I got to pick the color for this room when we moved into this house. Problem number 9, what's your favorite smell? I think that probably these are fairly common favorite smells. Coffee is my absolute favorite smell. Coffee brewing, coffee in the cup, everything but coffee breath about coffee appeals to me. I'm not as strong as other people here who are not caffeine addicts. I definitely am. And coffee is my caffeine delivery system of choice. I think everything about it is nearly perfect. However, I don't go in for all the fancy coffee drinks. I pretty much just drink black coffee with sweetener added to it. But I can drink coffee black without it and be relatively happy. Also, probably second, and I saw somebody said in response to this that a good bourbon was a good smell. For me, that would be Scotch. I like the smell of Scotch. That kind of peaty, vanilla-y sort of smell really appeals to me. Also love the smell of popcorn. Those, by the way, are also 3 of my favorite things to consume, even though I don't consume all that much Scotch. And then prompt number 10 is, what's your favorite book or your top 3? I tell you what I'll do instead. I'm going to do my top 3 favorite novels by Balzac. As you may know, just finished the read-along, the buddy read of Cousin Pons by Balzac, which I did with a number of great booktubers here. We had a great time exchanging our comments on Voxer about that novel. My top 3 Balzac novels would be Père Goriot, sometimes known as called Old Goriot, The Black Sheep, and Eugene Grandet. Those would be my top 3 novels by Balzac. There you go. That's my version of the Meet the BookTuber tag. Look forward to your comments in the comment section below. As always, thank you for watching.